Magandang buhay sa ating lahat! Welcome to my YouTube channel, mga masugid kong taga-subaybay. Ngayon po, pag-aaralan natin ang tungkol sa situational problems involving circles. This is a step-by-step process and with illustration. To start, balikan muna natin ang mga importanteng formula. Standard form of a circle, we have the square of x minus h plus the square of y minus k equals r squared, wherein hk is the center of the circle and r is the radius. Another, x squared plus y squared equals r squared, wherein the center is at the origin. The general equation of the circle, we have ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. With hk as the center of the circle, and we have the shortcut on how to find the center of the circle in general form. Given the equation in general form, ano yung shortcut ng center? We have the coordinate negative d over 2 and negative e over 2. Yung d is the coefficient of x in general equation, and e is the coefficient of y in general equation. So you apply this, negative d over 2, negative e over 2, provided that the coefficient of x squared and y squared ay 1. How about kung hindi siya 1? Of course, you divide first all the terms by the coefficient of x squared or y squared, which is not equal to 1. Dapat gawin nyo munang 1 so that you can apply this shortcut formula in finding the center of the circle. Another, the shortcut on how to find the radius if the given equation is in general form without changing that equation in standard form. We have the radius equals the square root of d squared plus e squared minus 4f all over 4. So d, e, and f are coefficient, d and e are coefficient of x and y, while f is the constant term. So when you get the square root, that's the radius of the circle. Next. So let's proceed to situational problems. Number 1. A street with 2 lanes, each 10 feet wide, goes through a semicircular tunnel with radius 12 feet. How high is the tunnel at the edge of its lane? So, dalawang lane siya. I-illustrate muna natin. So, ito yung tunnel, circular tunnel. Tingnan nyo ang nalagay kong picture. It's not just like a circle. So, circular tunnel siya, dalawang lane. Kasi yung papunta sa nasa right side at nasa left side. Okay? So, yung first lane, that's 10 feet. And the second lane, another 10 feet. So, 10 plus 10, 20. But the tunnel, the radius is 10 feet. So, 12 feet. 12. So, meaning, if that is 12, meron pa siyang 2 feet after the lane. And to the other side, another 2 feet after the lane. But the question is, ano daw ang height ng tunnel sa pinakakanto ng street, ng lane, ng highway? Ito yung highway, nandyan yung pinakakanto ng highway. Ano daw yung height na nandyan sa taas ng tunnel? Para alam natin na yung sasakyan, pag nakapunta dyan sa tabi, ay hindi siya masira. Okay. From the illustration, we have the given. Radius of a tunnel is 12 feet. Measure street with 2 lanes, 20 feet. Bakit 20 feet? 10 feet for every lane. So 10 plus 10, 20. And what is the requirement? The height of the tunnel at the edge of the lane. So this one, itong may kulay pula na point. So the height represented by y at the edge of the tunnel. That's represented by 10 for x and y for y because we don't know the value, yun ang isosolve natin. Next is, you determine the formula to be used. Mga ganitong situational problem, it's better to use the equation of the circle wherein the center is at the center. So, 0, 0. So, ang gagamitin lang natin ay x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Next step. For the next step, you substitute the given. Ano yung given natin? Yung 10. That's for x. At yung radius. The radius is 12 feet. Okay? You substitute here, we have 10 squared plus y squared equals 12 squared. So 10 times 10, 100, plus y squared, 12 times 12 is 144. To solve for y, what will you do to 100? You transpose to the other side. It became negative 100. 144 minus 100 is 44 equals y squared. And how to remove 2 as the exponent of y? This is exponent, so therefore, you need to multiply the exponent by another exponent. But how to make the exponent 2 equal to 1? So you multiply the exponent by 1/2. Or we call it raising both sides by 1/2. Or we call it extracting square root to both sides. Square root of y squared is y, while square root of 44 is square root of 44. But then 44 can be factored with one perfect square, like such that the square root of 4 times 11. Okay? And the square root of 44 is 2 times square root of 11, or in decimal, 6.63 feet. That's the height of this portion of the tunnel na kalinya ng pinakakanto ng street o ng lane or ng highway. So that's 2 square root of 11 or 6.63 feet. That's the answer. Let's proceed to another example. A waterway in a theme park has a semicircular cross-section with diameter 11 feet. The boats that are going to use in this waterway have rectangular cross-sections and are found to submerge 1 feet into the water. If the water is to be filled with water 4.5 feet deep, what is the maximum possible width of the boat? Okay, let's illustrate. Okay, so ito yung waterway ng theme park. Okay? Then, lalagyan niya ng boat. Sabi doon, ang tubig na ilalagay dyan ay 4.5 feet. Okay? 4.5 feet. And the diameter of that semicircular waterway is 11 feet. Therefore, the radius is 5.5 because the diameter is twice of the radius. What will you do to 11? You divide it by 2. 11 divided 2 is 5.5. That's the radius. But then, sabi daw, yung boat, pag nilagay dyan, ay nagsusubmerge ng 1 feet. So, bababa o tataas yung tubig. So, bababa yung boat. Magsusubmerge siya. So, before we are going to solve for x here, okay, so we have here the diameter as the given, 11 feet. To get for the radius, you just divide it by 2, that's 5.5 feet. And the boat submerged into the water 1 feet, okay? The waterway filled with water 4.5 feet deep. Kung magsusubmerge ang boat sa water 1 feet, so bababa. Bababa siya, 4.5, bababa ng isa, magiging 3.5. Okay? 4.5, so magiging 3.5. Okay. Now, the question is, what is the maximum possible width of the boat? Okay. So, 3.5 na siya kasi bumaba na yung boat ng 1. Masubmerge ng isa. So, from the center, okay, Assuming semicircle yan. So, from the center of that circle, okay, that is 5.5 minus 3.5 kasi bababa pa yung bolt ng isang feet. So, minus 3.5 is 2 feet. Okay? 5.5 minus 3.5 is 2. So, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. So, from the center going down, so 2 feet na lang po. Okay? That is why we have here 2 feet for y. And what is the value of x for that particular value of y, which is 2? We illustrate. Done. Next is the formula that you are going to use. So you use the formula when the center is at the origin. So we have x squared plus y squared equals r squared. But the radius is 5.5. We can change that to fraction. 5.5 is 5 in 1/2, or in fraction is 11/2. It's better to use the fraction. Now substitute the given. We have x squared because the x is unknown. Y is 2. Okay? Going down, this is going down. So, assuming that itong semicircular is the x-axis. So, pababa ito, y-axis. So, it became negative. Yung y-axis na positive, yung pataas. Okay? That is why the value of y is negative 2. Kasi pababa po siya. Okay. Negative 2 squared equals the radius, which is 11/2 squared. We simplify. X squared plus 4 equals 11 times 11, 121/4. Transpose positive 4 to the other side. It became negative 4. Simplify the right side. So how to simplify a fraction to a whole number? You just multiply this denominator to the whole number. 4 times 4 is 16. That's negative 16. 121 minus 16. At kinokopya lang ang denominator. 121 minus 16 is 105/4. But then, you're solving for x. X has a exponent of 2. What will you do? You extract square root both sides. So, square root of x squared is x. Square root of 105/4 is square root of 5/2. Wala nang square root ang 2 because 4 is a perfect number. When you get the square root, that's positive 2. When we change this into decimal, that's 5.12. But then, ang sabi dito ay width of the bolt. Ang kinocompute lang po dito yung kalahati ng bolt. Remember, radius. So meaning, meron pa sa kabila. So therefore, we multiply it by 2 and the width of the bolt is 10.24 feet or square root of 105. What will you do to 5.12? You just multiply it by 2 and that's 10.24 feet. Okay? Your answer here, the clue of your answer should be less than to the diameter of the semicircular waterway. Because if your answer is greater than the diameter, and your solution is not correct. Let's proceed to another example. Earth is represented on a map of a portion of the solar system so that its surface is the circle with equation x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y minus 4091 equals 0. A wheeler satellite circles 0.6 units above Earth with center of its circular orbit at the center of Earth. Find the equation of the orbit of the satellite on this map. Okay, we represent first, or we illustrate the given and represent the unknown. Now, this is the Earth and this is the orbit of the Earth. Above, okay, above po, above, meron pa siyang orbit ng satellite, okay, which is 0.6, okay, 0.6. So, makukuha natin ang radius ng Earth because given yung equation of the orbit of the Earth. But then, hindi po given ang equation ng orbit ng satellite. Yun ang kukunin natin, yun ang required. Ang given lang is the measurement between the orbit of the Earth and going to the orbit of the satellite. Remember that they're using the same center. Ang orbit ng satellite, ang center, yung sa Earth din. Okay. From that, the given is the equation of the Earth is x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y minus 4091 equals 0. The measure of the weather satellite above Earth is 0.6 units. So ito yung idadagdag sa measure ng radius of the Earth to get the radius of the satellite. The requirement is the equation for the orbit of satellite. So what is the equation that you are going to use? You use the center radius form because you don't know the radius of the satellite. But then, so general equation yung given, so it's better to use that given ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Kasi ang given natin ay x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4f y minus 4091 equals 0. And we have a shortcut on how to get for the center of the circle and the radius of the circle when the given equation is in general form. For the shortcut of the center, we have negative d over 2, negative e over 2. And the shortcut of the radius, we have the square root of d squared plus e squared minus 4f all over 4. So we solve for the center. The given equation is x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y minus 4091 equals 0. And this is the formula of the center, negative d. RD is 2. So negative 2 over 2. RE is 4. Negative 4 over 2. When we simplify, negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. Negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. That's the center of the Earth. Because this equation is for the orbit of the Earth. Now, how to find for the radius? We have here the formula, square root of d squared plus e squared minus 4f all over 4. The d is 2, that's 2 squared. E is 4, that's 4 squared. Minus 4, and rf is negative 4091. So negative times negative is positive. 4 times 4091 is 16,364. 4 squared is 16 and 2 squared is 4. When we add 4 plus 16 plus 16,364 is 16,384. And that's a perfect square of 128. So square root of 16,384 is 128. Square root of 4 is 2. So we can divide, and that is 64 units. That's the radius of the Earth. Now, to find for the radius of the orbit of the satellite, so we will get the radius of the Earth plus the given measurement from the Earth to the satellite, which is 0.6. So, radius of the Earth plus the distance above the Earth of the satellite. So, we have 64 units plus 0.6 units is equal to 64.6 units, or in fraction 323 over 5 units. That's the radius of the satellite. But the question is, what is the equation of the orbit of the satellite? So meron na tayo. You get this value of the radius of the satellite plus the center of the Earth, because this is also the center of the satellite. They have the same center. Center of the Earth is equal to the center of the satellite, which is equal to coordinate -1, -2. We substitute to the standard form and to make it a general form. This is the standard form of a circle. Square of x minus h plus square of y minus k equals r squared. We substitute x plus 1. Bakit plus? Kasi the center is negative and the equation is minus h minus k, so you get the opposite sign. So x plus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 323 over 5 squared. So I prefer to use the fraction para exact, hindi siya nira-round off. And then, so we simplify the right side, the radius. Square of 323 is 104,329 and square of 5 is 25. So, pwede na itong tamang answer, but the way we write the standard form, dapat itong denominator ay sinusulat as coefficient of the square of x plus 1. Pwede yon. Or yung iba, at is ito. Ganito yung constant number na sa right side. Okay? So, pwedeng ganito, pwedeng ganito. Na minomultiply itong denominator to all the terms. We have only two terms in the left side and one term in the right side. So we have 25 times the square of x plus 1 plus 25 times the square of y plus 2 equals 104,329. Or, in general form, we have ax squared plus by squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. It's easy. X times x is x squared plus 2 times 1 is 2 plus x is 2x plus 1. Then here, y times y is y squared. 2 times 2 is 4 times y is 4y. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have now x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 1 plus 4. Ima-minus mo tong 104,329. Okay? Over 25. Okay? Then, to write general form of the circle, dapat walang denominator. What will you do to 25 as denominator of 104,329 is you multiply all the terms by 25. So we have 25x squared plus 25y squared. 2 times 25 is 50x. 4 times 25 is 100y. And we transpose 104,329 to the left. It became negative. 1 and 4 are positive. So, ima-minus natin ito dito. Babawasan ng 5. 104,329 minus 5 is 104,204 equals 0. Ito yung general form. Sagot po ito. Ito ang standard form. Sagot din yan. That's the answer for the problem number 3. Another situational problem. This is the last problem. So, it's also another problem sa park naman. A park has a water with semicircular cross-section that has a radius of 13 feet. The boats that are to be used in this water system have rectangular cross-sections and are known to submerge 2 feet into the water. If the water channel is to be filled with water 7.5 feet deep, what is the maximum possible width of the boat? So, pare ito sa problem number 2. But then, here, radius ang given. Doon sa una, diameter. So, it's easy. Mas easy ito kaysa doon. Okay, so we have here the illustration. The radius is 13 feet. Okay, magsusubmerge siya ng 2 feet. So, magbabawas tayo dito kasi finilled ang waterway ng 7.5 water deep. So, yung boat, pag nilagay daw dyan, ay magsusubmerge ng 2 feet. So, 7.5 minus 2 is 5.5. So, 13 minus 5.5 is 7.5 ang gagamitin natin for R. And what is the particular value of X? Okay? 7.5. So, itong gagamitin natin na. What is the maximum possible width of the boat? X, 7.5 or X, 15/2. Going down, negative naman po ang gagamitin natin na value kasi we assume that this line, semicircle, is the x-axis. Going down is the negative y-axis. That is why we use here x squared plus the square of negative 7/5. Kung tataka kayo, sir, saan galing ang negative 7/5? Remember, the radius is 13. Galing sa gitna hanggang sa pinakababa is 13. Okay? Pero ibabawas natin, sabi may tubig dyan. Pero pag nilagay yung bangka, ay magsusubmerge ng 2 feet. So therefore, itong 7.5, mababa yan. Okay? Mababa kasi magsusubmerge yung bangka. So, mababa siyang 2 feet. So, maging 5.5. Ngayon, aalamin mo yung space from sa taas hanggang sa dito na portion. Kasi yun ang aalamin natin. Kasi yan lang ang basihan na pwedeng kumasya yung bangka. Hindi na pwedeng kumasya hanggang sa pinakailalim kasi nga maano na siya dyan, masikip na. Okay? So, yun ang kukunin natin. So, 13. Okay? So, 13 siya, maging 5.5 ini. Okay? 5.5 itong y. 13 minus 5.5 is 7.5. So, 7.5 ang kukunin natin. Itong x, itong portion na ito, ano ang value niyan? Okay. So, that is negative 7.5. Hindi po itong 7.5 na given because this is the water na ilalagay dito sa water channel. Itong naman, it is the measurement galing doon sa taas pababa para malaman natin kung gaano kalaki ang bangka na dapat makalagay dyan. Maximum possible value, width. And the radius is 13. 13 times 13 is 169. Negative 7.5 times negative 7.5 is 225 over 4. Transpose this to the other side. Magiging negative 225 over 4. Simplify this. Minumultiply ito lang itong whole number dito sa denominator. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry 3. 6 times 4, 24. Plus 3 is 27. Carry 2. 4 times 1, 4. Plus 2 is 6. I-minus sa 225. So, maging 451 over 4. Then, extract square root both sides kasi may square yung x. X lang kailangan natin to remove the exponent 2. So, maging square root tayo. Square root of 451 over 2 because 4 is a perfect square of 2 or 10.62. This is only in one side from the center going here. Remember that this is a circular, so papunta rin doon sa kabila. So we are going to multiply this by 2 and that's 21.24 feet. This is the answer na magkasya. Dapat ang measurement ng bangka ay 21.24 feet, which is less than sa twice of the radius na 26. Hindi pwede siya lumampas sa 26 feet as diameter. Dapat ang sagot niya is less than 26 feet as a diameter. Okay, that's all about situational problem involving circles. So please watch on for the next video or video on situational problems involving parabola. God bless.